Hello, Sievlan.
Hello, Bianca.
Sievlan, I heard that actually you're leaving Agnes Scott next semester and you're going to Stanford. So here's my question. Are you rich?
Not necessarily, you know me, right, Bianca? Well, my family are farmers in Cambodia, and generally, farmers in Cambodia are not rich.
So that means somebody pays for your education, right?
Yes, I got the Knight Hennessy scholarship.
Knight Hennessy Scholarship.
Yes.
What is that? Who is paying for it? Tell us. We're curious people.
Well, Knight Hennessy is founded by John Hennessy, and he's a former president of Stanford. And you know, they get funding from Phil Knight, co-founder of Nike, and they usually sponsored around 50 to 100 students to do graduate study at Stanford, which means, you know, master or PhD, and the scholarship pay for tuition fee, and then you get some stipend, which is, you know, enough to cover your living expenses and, you know, your accommodation, food, and, you know, reasonable personal spending.
Okay, and so how many applicants were there? Like,
you mean how many applications there?
Oh yeah, right.
Around, okay, for this year it was around 4,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
and how many people did they actually take into this program, into this like funding program?
Generally they take from 50 to 100. So for this year they took like around 69. Yeah.
Okay. So, and like, did you have to do any standardized tests for that, like TOEFL or something like that?
Yes, you do. You need because it's first as a foreign student, you need a TOEFL, right? But since you're applying to graduate program, you also need a GRE. So TOEFL and GRE are the two main standardized tests you need.
Okay. And I also heard that you have been already to Stanford in order to apply, right? How did that go? Like, how did that work? Did you have to pay for your flight?
No, you know, fortunately they pay for everything. So first you apply, and then I was shortlisted. I was among one of the 150 students shortlisted. So once you're shortlisted, they pay for your flights and everything to go to Stanford for the immersion weekend. And part of so in the immersion weekend, you have like there's activities, there's lectures, and there's you know, you get to know all these amazing people who are also shortlisted. And then one small part of it is like an interview. So you also went through an interview.
Well, that sounds really good. And so, whom did you take? Like, is it only for international people? Are there also Americans? How does it work?
Oh, it's a scholarship for all, I would say. So it's for Americans, Europeans, you know, Africans, you know, Asians. So like people all around the world, both locals and international. But they sponsored just to study at Stanford, not at other university.
So, I mean, right now, you're here at Agnes Scott, so you took a flight from Atlanta to Stanford. But what if I'm in Europe, or in Africa, or in Asia, and I'm applying there, and I get shortlisted? Do I have to pay for my flight? Or do I also get like an international flight?
No, you don't. Actually, a lot of shortlisted candidates like came from United Kingdom. There's some from Lebanon, from Egypt, from Africa. So they also pay for your flight and everything.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
And well, now that I do have one more question. So what about grades? Like, and test results, how much do they matter? I know, for instance, it might be pretty hard because like an A here in the States might not be comparable to an A in another country.
Yeah, I think that's partly that's true. Like, say for example, like in Cambodia we have different grading than in the US and somewhere else. So, but what is good about about Stanford generally is that I think they don't just look solely at your grade, you know, because grade are important, but they are not the end of the world, like the most important thing. They look at other things. They look into you, like at who you are as a person, and they look at your curricular activities, your, you know, some of your test scores, and your stories, most importantly your stories that you put in the application. So so not just on grade.
So is there any additional tip that you can give to people out there who might want to apply for the same program right now?
Okay, if you are interested in applying, check out their website now, because the application is already open. So after you check the website and also check the department that you are interested in, look at the deadlines, because you have to submit 2 different applications. So plan it out accordingly. Give yourself time, like some time to work on the application. Don't just rush at the last 2 or 3 days. And then if you decided to apply for it, you know, do it your best and put your all into it, because that would increase your chance of being selected. So another tip is, while the application can be, you know, overwhelming because there's a lot of stuff you have to answer, take it as a learning experience. Like, you learn how to apply to scholarships, but also you can, you know, like applying to Knight Hennessy also allowed me to learn so much about myself. Like, I get to answer questions that I would probably never answer in my life. Say, for example, improbable facts. It gets, you know, get me to like really think deep about myself and like who I really am, what I want to be, and like what made me who I am today. You know, those kind of stuff. It's really, I think it's really helped me clear out my mind to like clear out my goal, because also like I wanted to work in development fields, but like I hadn't had like clear idea about like where am I going exactly. But you know, like working through those applications, I thought those out through, because you know, you better have things clear in your mind, you know, before you can put it down. So yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Sievlan.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. See you soon.
See you.